Yeah. He a fan. He a fan. He a fan.
Just randomly blurted out throughout the whole episode.
Hey, it's what you got to do, man. It's too catchy. It's what the streets want. That's what he said. That's what the culture feeling, bro.
I'm fucking weak.
We are live though with episode 58. It feels weird without the music.
They do a little bit,
I
but
mean, should I attempt to see if it's gonna work or no?
nah, don't even risk it.
All
It's
right,
too
no,
late.
I'm
It's too
just
late.
gonna
It's
shoot
too
go.
late. Don't even risk it. Don't even risk it. No, we already going. Might as well.
You're right. You're right. With that though, welcome to episode 58 of the Off the Glass podcast. Today, we are going to be talking about both conference final series right now. 2-2-0 series leads for the Celtics and the Mavericks. We're going to be talking through both of those series. But the meat and potatoes of this episode is going to be a little bit of legacy talk, which we don't get into very frequently on this podcast. But I really want to think about what ring would mean for each of these teams and their stars if they are able to achieve that for the final four teams remaining in the NBA playoffs, because conversations are going to be had either way, whether it's the Mavs or the Celtics or the Timberwolves or the Pacers. Conversations are going to be had, and it's going to be some nasty dialogue. So we might as well get out in front of them now.
That's facts, because Timberwolves won a ring. Nas Reed, top 10 player ever. He the GOAT.
Nas, bro, Timberwolves win a ring. Nas Reed might be Finals MVP.
Yeah, he's been hooping. He's been hooping. So there's definitely some conversations to be had for sure.
1000% though. With that, gonna start the pod off as we always do. How are you feeling today, Dane?
I am doing fine, my brother. I'm doing fine. I am excited to talk some basketball, talk to some of these series, and talk some legacy talk, man. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool. So I'm excited.
Good. I'm doing great, man. Long weekend, 3-day weekend, little Memorial Day. Got me a little, you feel me, cold one. So hope y'all are enjoying the long weekend. Hopefully some warm weather where y'all are at. But without further ado, we're going to jump right into it, starting off with, I'll say, the least surprising of the two series. Boston Celtics are up 2-0 on the Indiana Pacers. They should have lost game one for all intents and purposes. The Pacers quite literally threw the game away with two back-to-back unforced turnovers there in the fourth quarter, and Jaylen Brown hit a phenomenal three-pointer in the corner to send that game into overtime. And then Jason Tatum, thank you, showed up, played some basketball in overtime. Didn't need to. Didn't need to for the first four quarters of that game.
For real.
He showed up in overtime, put the Superman cape on, got his nice little 20-25 points, which he always ends up with. The Celtics win game one, and game two a little closer in the beginning, but then the Celtics really started to blow the Pacers out a bit. And then the biggest news coming out of that game and coming here tonight before game three is that Tyrese Halliburton seemingly re-aggravated that same hamstring that had kept him out for, I think it was 10 or 11 games in the regular season. So he is actually out for game three. And they said that his status for game four is also in doubt. So without Halliburton, I mean, I don't think anybody was really giving Indiana a real chance in this series. Anyway, without Halliburton in game 3 and 4, this is like sweep territory, not even gentleman sweep territory.
No, that's all.
So with that though, how are you feeling about the series? How are you feeling about what you've seen from Tatum and the Celtics, as it looks like they are about to coast their way into their second finals appearance in the Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown era?
I mean, it's I don't know how to feel about the Celtics, man. I really don't, because on one hand, I mean, they, like, at the end of the day, like I said, they're on sweep watch. They're about to probably sweep the Pacers. They won the past two series in 5. So it's like, on one hand, they're taking care of business, but on the other hand, it's like it's just some questionable moments. Whether it just be like I said, they should have lost game one. Like, letting teams that you're just 10 times better than stay in the game and actually, have a chance to win when you're at home in game one, when you're supposed to be setting the tone. Stuff like that is a little bit questionable. Obviously Jason Tatum is having his like ups and downs pretty much this whole playoffs. Like, you're not really gonna know what you're getting from him. Like, it's been so inconsistent, which is a little bit frustrating to see, especially if you're a Celtics fan, if you just think someone that believes the Celtics are going to win the whole thing. But yeah, man, those are the things I'm kind of concerned about a little bit. I mean, obviously, we talked about their play style in general. If the threes don't fall, it's a little bit tough for them. So that's always going to be a concern, but that's just the way they play. Like, that's not really going to change.
Right.
So other than that, I mean, there's obviously some good things. Like I said, they take care of business in general. Like even the games that it's end up being close when it probably shouldn't be close. At the end of the day, they still win the series. Like they've won the past 2 series, and they still won these 2 games and are up 2-0. Which at the end of the day, if you get the win, it really doesn't matter. Like if they
Right.
continue playing this inconsistent but win the finals, it really does not matter. Like how
Not in the slightest. A ring is a ring.
literally, bro. It could be 4 ugly wins in the finals. If you win, you win. So it really don't matter. But like I said, they take care of business from that aspect. Jaylen Brown's been playing very, very well. He's pretty much been carrying, been like the best player these past 2 games. So he's been playing really well, which is a good sight to see. But I mean, honestly, to me, man, it's tough because they're really not going to get an actual challenge until they get to the finals, which is going to be tough because like you haven't been tested this whole playoffs really. Like even though I personally think, and I pretty much everyone would think they, regardless of who was injured, who was healthy, if everyone been there, they would have beat all 3 of the teams that they've played already, regardless if the other teams was healthy or not. But still, they really hasn't been tested, and they've been playing kind of inconsistent as far as like your best player and things of that nature. So that's a little bit concerning. But as far as like obviously they're at least gonna go to the finals, which is always gonna be a plus. And then from that aspect, it's if Tatum plays the way he plays, Jaylen Brown continues playing the way he does, maybe you get some threes to fall and you get 4 games where the threes are falling, like obviously you guys can win for sure. So
100%.
um it's just a matter of like which way you look at it as far as like glass half empty, glass half full from that aspect. But yeah, like I said, I just want to say, like I said before, all the injury talk though about like cakewalk finals and things of that nature, I think they would have beat the Heat with Jimmy Butler. I think they would have beat the Cavs with Donovan Mitchell. I think they would have beat the
100%.
Pacers with Tyrese Halliburton. So it's like
Right.
a cakewalk, biggest. I've seen someone say this is the biggest asterisk finals. Like, bro, they would have beat all these teams regardless. So that doesn't
It's
matter to me.
it's no asterisk in the NBA official record book, bro. If it's
It's
in
not.
there, it's in there. Don't nobody
The
care what
Raptors
y'all
have a
think on
ring, bro.
Twitter. Right.
So
Any run that you want to think, Mickey Mouse ring put in the bubble. The ring is the ring. The
right.
Lakers are the 2020 NBA champion. Cut it however you want to. That's it. But what you said about the Celtics is true. Like, and it comes with the territory. Like, that's part of why you want to be the 1 seed, right? Like, you get the best matchups possible in every single round.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the injuries nobody wants to see, but they happen. But I would 100% agree with you. Like, do you think Jimmy Butler changes that Heat series? No.
No.
Does Donovan Mitchell change that Cavs series? No. It maybe goes a game or 2 more, but it's not changing the outcome of that series. Halliburton played game 1 and a good chunk of game 2. Like, I don't think it would have mattered anyway. Like, they are just better. And the 2 other teams all season that we thought could have given the Celtics a run for their money, and if you even want to get it to 3 and throw the Knicks in there because of how they finished out their season, they didn't have to play any of them. They didn't have to play any of those teams. So it is what it is. That's the East has always been for at least the last 20-ish
Decade
years, right? It's been
more
a while
plus.
now. That's been the weaker of the 2 conferences. And they were the best team in the East. So they're going to get an easier path to the finals. But that shouldn't deter from what the end goal is if they do ultimately make it to the finals, which it looks like they're going to, and then potentially win. That shouldn't take away from, like, it should never be you should never be taking away from what somebody did to win a ring. If they had a hard path to the finals and won, that should be like a plus, but it should never be a negative if all you can do is play what's in front of you. What do you want the Celtics to do? Tell the Pacers to go home and let's bring the 76ers back. Is Giannis healthy now? Let's bring the Bucks back. Like, that's not how this works, bro. They can only play who's put in front of them.
Facts.
So, getting directly into the game analysis, like game 2 specifically, Jaylen Brown ends up with a 40-point game in this one. He was the steady offense for the Celtics continually in game 2. It's gotten to the point where we've reached takes again in the media like we did in 2022, where people are starting to say, maybe Jaylen Brown is the best player on the Celtics.
But just last year, Jaylen Brown was super overpaid and don't got no left hand. So what are we
Right.
talking about? Oh my
You
god,
can't win either way.
you
Um,
can't.
what I truly do believe it's a combination of, and I think the Celtics are one of the few teams that actually have the luxury of being able to do this. I think Jason Tatum understands that teams are going to game plan for him as the guy, as they should. They come in, he gets their best defender, he gets multiple bodies. Like for the Indiana Pacers, right? Sometimes he gets Siakam, sometimes he gets Neesmith, like he's getting aggressive defenders, he's getting length, he's seeing multiple bodies. And I think he understands because he's on a team that's so loaded and because he has a guy like Jaylen Brown, who in his own right could be a number one guy potentially on a playoff level team, he can defer to him a lot more easier when if you have a team like the Timberwolves, like if Ant doesn't have it going, he's going to have to keep forcing that, option, because
Mm-hmm.
it's got to be him at some point.
For
It
sure.
doesn't have to be Jason Tatum at some point in these games for him to win. Like I said, they in game one, they went all the way through the majority of that game, and he was relatively quiet. Obviously, when they needed him to step up in overtime, he stepped up in a big way. But he never has to force the issue because of the surrounding cast around him, and obviously Jaylen Brown being the biggest reason because of that, because he can become that guy on any given night when Jason Tatum doesn't have it going. And it seems like more often than not in these past couple of playoff runs, you see a lot more of that out of Jaylen Brown, and I think a lot of that just has to do with schematically. Jason Tatum was always going to get the best defender on the other team, and it just makes sense matchup wise. Jaylen Brown has a lesser matchup on him, even though he's of a similar talent tier. Like I would say, still, I don't care what Jason Tatum is doing. Jason Tatum is a better basketball player than Jaylen Brown. I'm not about to feed into the recency bias that y'all dive into every time the Celtics go on these playoff runs. But again, I just think it's the convenience of having a team that loaded that Tatum can kind of coast like this. Now, if they do go against, let's say they finish out the series, which it looks like they will, and they'll go against the Timberwolves or the Mavericks, Tatum is going to be needed a little bit more than he has been throughout the portion of this playoff. So that's when the real test for him is going to come, and they're going to have to really face the music when that happens, and we'll see what Tatum is really made of now and what would be his second time in the finals, because his first time was, I think, from all accounts, a bit disappointing. Obviously, he had the shoulder injury, but he would say he's already said it himself. He didn't play up to the standards that he wanted to. But yeah, game 3 tonight, and it tips off in about 2 hours or so. I don't see a world that Indiana can be competitive in this series without Tyrese Halliburton, which is a shame because Halliburton had really started to come on in the playoffs. We had been really critical of him, especially in that last series against New York, of being really passive. And in those last couple games, you saw him crank up the aggressiveness, the intensity. He was looking for his own shots, as well as continuing to keep that offense flowing at a high pace like they've been doing all year. So this is just a huge blow for an Indiana team, like we said, really had no business being there. Like, obviously, at the end of the day, same thing we just said about the Celtics. You can only play what's in front of you. Like, the Knicks are a banged-up team. They took advantage of that, and they won the series, so all credit to them. But we both would agree if the Knicks were fully healthy, the Pacers, I don't think, win that series. But now they're the ones that's caught with the injury bug. And with no Halliburton, it would literally take a miracle performance from a guy like TJ McConnell for the Pacers to be able to go out and win game 3 or 4. And honestly, I just don't see that happening. It sounds like already with the doubt that's creeped in for game 4, and even coming off what we just saw from OG Anunoby trying to go on a bad hamstring, I just I don't expect him to come back for game 4. And I think the Celtics will probably wrap this one up in 4 and gear up for their second finals run in just a couple years.
Yeah. I'll tell you one thing, man. If the Celtics lose one of these games at my confidence for them winning the finals would be shot, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Just because, like, we just talked about, listen, like, even though they have at least one game, a series where they just kind of slip up. Now in the in the Cavs in the Heat series, they actually lost one game. I mean, granted, the Heat game was kind of like an aberration. Like they shot 100 threes and made 100 threes. Fine, cool. They still gave one up to the Mavs. I believe it was at home as well. If that game one was their quote unquote, like, we're going to give you this game, the fact that they still won that, if they take care of business these next 2 games,
Right.
would be fine, because then that would be on schedule. They give one away and then they kind of, handle business. But if they lose without Halliburton, it's like, bro, these are games you just have to win. In series, you just have to not play with your food and close it out, because one, the longer you guys have to play, the less rest you're gonna get when you go into the next series. 2, the more games you have to play, the more chance that someone gets hurt from your team, and then now that affects you in the next series. So,
and you could double up and say the more chance that somebody like Halliburton comes back.
That's true.
And
That is true.
it could get even dicier than you want it to.
Exactly. So just take care of business. Win these next 2 games. I think they will. I agree. I agree with you. I think they will. But just don't play with your food. Don't mess around. Win these next 2 games. Then you could just rest, watch the Western Conference, see who your matchup is going to be, and go from there. So I do think they're going to handle business, though.
Let me ask you this. Either way, Mavericks, Celtics, Wolves, Celtics, whatever happens in the Western Conference Finals, are you taking the Celtics in either of those series? Just as it sits right now, 2 games into the conference finals. Let's say we get there. Do you feel confident about the Celtics in either of those matchups?
I'm confident, yeah. Like, it's not, even if I don't pick them, it's not like listen, if the Celtics win the finals, I'm not surprised. Like, don't get me wrong,
let me rephrase it then. Would you pick the Celtics in either of those series?
I'm gonna be honest, man. I'm gonna be honest. No, I don't think so. I'm gonna be honest, bro. Because think about it. If the Timberwolves win, that means they came back, from down 0-2, and they beat a really good Mavs team, and that means Anthony Edwards would have had to step it up and play better. That means he would have come into the finals rolling. Obviously, we know about the Timberwolves defense. The defense is elite, and if anyone is gonna continue having Jason Tatum be a consistent struggle, it would be elite perimeter wing defenders, and like a Jaden Daniels, or Jaden McDaniels. Anthony Edwards probably wouldn't be on him as much, but still, they have a bunch of just talented wing defenders. So with the Timberwolves, I think I lean the Timberwolves there. But then again, it's like Ant's still young. Like, we've seen it now with his kind of struggles. I guess we'll probably get into that a little bit later. But he's still young, so his struggles, maybe his first time in the finals might be not as great as he probably normally plays. So, I mean, that's always a possibility. But I think I'd lean the Timberwolves. And if it's the Mavs, I'm going to be honest, bro. Sometimes it's hard picking against the team with the best player. Like, it's that simple. Because Luka is clearly better than Tatum. Luka's clearly better than Ant. Like, he's the best player left in this whole playoffs.
100%.
So picking against a team that would have the best player, a fantastic closer in Kyrie Irving, and then now an elite defense, elite rim protection, length, versatility. Like, it's I don't think I'd pick the Celtics against either of the Mavs or the Timberwolves, but I definitely can see a world where they beat both of those teams. The Timberwolves more so, I think the Celtics have a better chance, just because, like, if I'm Tatum, it's like, what's my excuse for playing bad if the other team's best player is a 22-year-old? You know what I mean? Like, I've been here before. Like, I should be the one who's like, I've already had my bad finals. Like, I should be here and steps up. But with the Mavs, it's just it's hard betting against that man Luka, bro. I'm gonna be honest.
And let's talk about it. Game 2 in that series last night. The Mavericks battled back in this one, and it came down to the final possession, down to, I don't know how this was even allowed, but somehow, some way, Rudy Gobert got switched on to Luka Doncic. And I know everybody in the Target Center in Minnesota, that heart had to skip a beat. Oh no, not the depoy. Not the depoy. Tween, step back. Oh, Rudy dancing. Oh my gosh. 3-pointer. Bang. Knocking it down. Luka Doncic is yelling in his ear, "You can't guard me." They get the stop on the other end, close out the game. They go up 2-0, steal both games in Minnesota. He yelling to the fans in Minnesota, "Go home." Words I can't say unless you want to get demonetized. Talk to me about, let's start with that last possession, because once again, Rudy Gobert is getting killed in these playoffs for something that personally I'll say it happens, bro. Who's really guarding Jokic? Who's really guarding Luka on an island? Like, we know that's not Gobert's strong suit. My biggest complaint with it all is we know that's not his strong suit. We can't allow that to happen with the game on the line. We're gonna live with a Luka ISO on Rudy. I don't care what you have to do. That switch can't happen. It can't happen.
Listen, man. For those who do not know, me and Rudy Gobert have a history here. On one hand, I don't like Rudy Gobert. I don't like. I've always said that he was trash for my whole existence of watching basketball. I always thought that he was trash, mainly because he was a good rim protector. He sucks on the perimeter, which is like fair, but he's literally like worse than me and you on offense. I swear. Like I think he's garbage on offense. On the one hand, I hate Rudy Gobert. On the other hand, I am a fair, unbiased observer of basketball, unlike a lot of people in the media. But I say all that to say, what was he gonna do, bro? Like, you're telling me Rudy Gobert is getting killed for not being able to guard Luka Doncic on the perimeter in the ISO? What are we talking about, bro? Like, what are we saying? No one was gonna get that. I guarantee. Put Jaden McDaniels there. I think Luka still makes that shot, and I think Luka still makes that shot. Obviously, it's gonna be harder. It's probably gonna be more contested, bro. When you have those guys, those caliber of guys, offense beats good defense, bro. So what do you think offense is gonna do to bad perimeter defense? Like it's gonna make them look. It's gonna make them look stupid. So the fact that the discourse, and like I said, I don't even like Rudy Gobert, but I gotta at least defend him from this standpoint. The fact that we're killing a 7-footer for giving up a bucket
to a guard,
to a top 3 player in the NBA, a guard is crazy to me. Like I've seen
both are MVPs,
bro. I've seen like the discourse is crazy. Like this is the depoy. Like for rim protection, not for guard. He wasn't guarding guards sitting in a chair this season. Like that's not how that worked.
And so I want to shout out Kenny, because Kenny is also one of the big Rudy Gobert defenders. And people were in his mentions talking about this one happened to this player. And he went and found receipts. Somebody was like, this one happened to Bam. Immediately sent the clip, Bam on an ISO, getting killed on the same exact spot on the court. Right wing, step back 3. What are you supposed to do? He's a center against a guard, bro. This happens.
Bro, I truly hate this. The main reason why I hate it is because it's making me go against my own guys. I follow Lakers people on my Twitter. All I see is this wouldn't happen to AD. AD with the switch. Jamal Murray just hit 2 game winners over Anthony Davis, bro.
And we gonna act like Jokic wasn't also getting buckets on AD.
And I love AD. I'm the Lakers fan. Like,
right,
bro, it happens, bro. It just happened. The same, bro. Like you said, the same 2 things. He's getting killed by Jokic, and he's also giving up Jamal Murray game winners. Like, come on, bro. It's like it happens. Granted, I think AD is a better defender because he is a more versatile defender, and also he's elite on offense, so that it's different. Because he's getting killed by Jokic. He's also killing Jokic on the other end. But that's a different discussion of if we're just strictly talking defense. It's like, bro, because people try and bring up the Steph clip of like Steph, like AD playing a D on Steph, which he did. But there's also a game. Which game? I forgot what game it was. I don't remember if it was I think it was a regular season game where Steph had AD on an ISO, and he cooked him, and he hit a 3.
Bro, if we want to nitpick clips like that, you can nitpick anything from any game, and you'll be able to find something that supports whatever agenda you try and push, bro. At the end of the day, more often than not, if you put a legit 7-footer on Luka Doncic, what do you think is going to happen? Luka Doncic is going to get wherever he wants to go, and if he gets an open look, he's probably going to drill it, bro, especially if the game is on the line, because that's just the player that Luka Doncic is. Luka Doncic had made 5 first-team All-NBAs in 6 years, and the 1 year he didn't, he was Rookie of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think he actually is getting underrated in terms of how, like, it feels like he's a guy that has, like, fatigue for greatness, and he really hasn't even gotten any awards yet. No
Bro,
MVPs, no finals appearances. Like, but people just seem to be like, this is just Luka. It's like, bro, this is not normal at all.
do you realize that like people still are like, oh my God, Shea Gilders Alexander, young up and coming superstar. Shea's older than Luca, bro.
Right.
Like, but we're just like, yeah, Luca
That's what
is
I
the
was
superstar.
saying. If you talk, bro, they talk about the Thunder team like, bro, their timeline is forever. Their star player is older than the Mavs star player, bro.
Right.
Granted, obviously they got Kyrie, who's older, and like the supporting cast is different. You don't have a guy like Chet or J-Dub with him, but it's like, if we talking about window, the window really revolves around your best player.
Facts.
So in theory, the window got to be bigger for Dallas than it is for OKC.
Facts.
But that's not what the media would leave you to believe, bro.
Yeah.
It's wild, and I really think it's crazy. He does feel like a guy that has like voter fatigue without having won an award. And I'm not just saying that because he was my pick to win the MVP and he didn't get it, because I said no matter what, Shea, Jokic, and Luka all were deserving winners of the award. Obviously, it goes to Jokic. I think Luka didn't even finish top 2. I think Shea ended up over him in the final standings. Again, totally deserved. You could have put those 3 in any order, and I would have been like, I can't even say nothing. All of them had legitimate MVP type seasons.
Mm-hmm.
But in this game particularly, Luka Doncic, again, it felt similar to game 1 where you had Kyrie Irving be the consistent offensive punch throughout the game. And then when it was time to wrap it up, put the ball in Luka's hands. So I think in game 1, Luka had 15 points in the first quarter. Obviously, Kyrie was going crazy. They combined for 63 between the two of them. But 15 from Luka just in the fourth quarter in game 1. Going into game 2, obviously, Luka hits the game winner in this one. Kyrie hit some big shots in the fourth quarter. And Luka finishes with a triple-double, 32 points, 10 rebounds, 13 assists. A guy that I do want to make sure that I give credit to, Derek Lively has been so impressive to me this playoff run. I posted a video on my solo channel talking about game 1 and how impressed I was with Derek Lively. Just his feel for the game as a rookie, his ability to come in and obviously crash the glass, be that screen roller, rim protector type of big, which is what he was projected to be coming out of Duke. But what's impressed me a lot this postseason has been his playmaking. There's times where they've gotten hit on that short roll, kind of right about the free throw line. Yeah. He's making that good connector pass out to the wing, out to the corner. He's getting assists on some of those. Sometimes they lead to wide open threes. Sometimes it turns into a rotation and you get a swing into an open three. All started off of his initial pass. So I've been super impressed with Derek Lively. And then in game 2, he comes out off the bench, gives you 27 minutes. He hasn't missed a shot in this series. 100% from the free throw line, 100% from the field goal or from the field. 14 points in this one, 9 rebounds, 2 assists. His presence cannot be understated for this Mavericks team. Him and Gafford, like I mentioned, I thought they would have some level of challenge guarding guys like Naz Reid and Cat in this one. And to be fair, we'll talk about it, but Naz Reid exploded in game 2. But at the same time, right now, it doesn't seem like Minnesota, like the Thunder, don't have a great answer for these easy lobs that Kyrie or Luka are able to get to Daniel Gafford and Derek Lively at the rim. So I said I was really excited to see the chess match between these two coaches. I'm already have seen a lot of adjustment and switches. We've seen them try drop on Luka. We've seen them blitz Luka. We've seen them do the same type of thing to Kyrie. We've seen some of those heavy rotations coming out of the corner on some of those short rolls or heavy rolls to the rim on Gafford and Lively to try to force some turnovers, make them hesitate, maybe put the ball on the deck and get them out of their comfort zone. I think we're just going to have to continue to see for when you go up against a guy like Luka or Kyrie, you have to just continue to throw different looks at them. I said this in my video. You're never going to be able to stop them. But in games like these, and when you look at these two games, right, like the Mavericks win game 2 by 1 point. And let me double check. The score from game 1 is a 3-point game. It's 4-point total difference in this series. That's 2 possessions. So if all you're doing, like I said, you're never going to fully stop a guy, but if on 1 or 2 possessions a game, you're able to change the coverage on them, you've been blitzing him all game, and you throw him into a drop, or you've been playing drop coverage all game, you blitz him, you trap him, you get a turnover off the big man. That's a possession where you can legitimately, that 2 or 3 point swing that you get could end up winning you the game. So you have to continue to do and throw those different types of defensive coverages at these elite scorers and these elite guards if you want to have opportunity to win. So I think especially going into game 3 into Dallas, you're going to see Chris Finch and Micah Nori. They're just going to have to throw the kitchen sink at these guys. Like, I almost would be, this might sound crazy. Like, what about a little boxing one? Like something, bro. I would really like, bro, let's really reach the point where we're going to dare, if Kyrie's on the floor, like, it's tough with the both of them, especially in the minutes where Kyrie's off the floor. Like, literally, let's dare anybody else to score right now because it can't be Luka. And we're not doing the lobs. So I think they got to really dive into their schematic bag and figure something out. But, yeah, Dallas steals both of them on the road. I had Wolves in 6 initially. Obviously, that's not out of the question. I still think the Wolves are very much in this series because, like I said, both of these games have been decided by a total of 4 points. But Ant has struggled. Cat has struggled. Jaden McDaniels seemed to have cooled off a little bit after having, I think, back-to-back 20-point games for the first time in his career. Panic meter is high. Panic meter is very high for Minnesota right now.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, from the defensive side, like I said, they're giving them different looks. They're trying different things to kind of get them off their rhythm, to try to stop the lobs, to try to get Luka and Kyrie just off their rhythm a little bit, which credit to them for actually doing a good job of switching it up and showing them different looks. In reality, when I think about it, I mean, obviously the lobs are still a little bit tough. They're not doing a good job stopping those. Luka's still, I mean, at the end of the day, Luka's gonna get his, regardless. He's gonna do his thing. To me, it really just boils down to the stars playing like how they should for Minnesota. You know what I mean? Because even in game 1, right, you get, what was it, 24 points from Jaden McDaniels. Even you had a guy like Kyle Anderson, slow-mo off the bench, giving you not expected, what was it, 11 points. Just really good minutes, just added contributions in game 2. Obviously, Naz Reid had a fantastic game. He was literally the only reason Minnesota even stayed in the game, hit like 7 threes. So you're getting contributions from other guys, even if it's different from game to game. To me, if the game is, you're doing at least a decent job on defense, showing them different looks, you're getting contributions from game to game from at least 1 to 2 people from off the bench, and the game ends up being a 1 to 2 point, like it's going to be a close game. It really just boils down to Anthony Edwards playing his best and Karl Anthony Towns playing like how he should. If those two guys play like how they're supposed to, who knows? We could have been in an entirely different series. That's, to me, that's what it really boils down to. Because the fact that you're even in these games and both of these guys are not playing good in both of them shows that if they were to be playing good, the series could be completely different. So to me, I think it really boils down to those two things. Like, obviously, Anthony Edwards has to step it up a little bit. People were trying to say that he's like tired. You know, he's obviously never made it this far in the playoffs. He's still a young guy, which, I mean, not out of the realm of possibility, because you've seen with a lot of like just young players, like there's a reason like 22-year-olds don't do this. Like, they don't win the championship. They don't make it all the way and play great and have huge playoff runs, is because, one, they've never done it before. Like, mentally, they could just be at a space where they're not ready yet. It could be a talent thing, which I don't think that's what it is with Anthony Edwards. It also could just be a fatigue thing. Like, I just am not prepared to make it this far. Like, I didn't know what it took beforehand, so that I didn't prepare myself to make it this far. So I'm not saying that's what it is, because no one's really going to know that. You know what I mean? But regardless, you're here. So there's really no excuses. You're the best player. You have to play like the best player. Karl Anthony Towns, you have to step up and play like, you know, what your talent level is, you know? So to me, I think those two things are the biggest things, and the biggest reason kind of why they're down 0-2 right now.
Agreed. This series can't be won by Jaden McDaniels and Naz Reid. It's got to be Ant. It's got to be Cat. They have to show up. The fact that these games are even close is literally a whole testament to Jaden McDaniels, Naz Reid, Kyle Anderson, Mike Conley as well, especially had it going in game 2. So it's like the role players from Minnesota are stepping up. Ant, Cat have to show up to the party. I saw somebody say that like they posted his percentages and stats after that tough fall he had on his tailbone, and he's down to like 15 or something points per game. So like maybe that's playing a factor into it. But I hate to be that guy, but look, at the end of the day, bro, everybody about 100 games deep. Everybody's banged up.
Luka is out here dying on the
Knee
court,
is
bro.
bleeding every game. What is going
Bro,
on there? Why is his knee bleeding like that, bro?
Luka is limping. He hit his face last series, shoulder, knee. Like, bro, there's no. I'm sorry, bro, but
Right.
if you're on the court right now, there's no excuses, bro. Everyone is feeling it, and listen, guys are stepping up, so there's no excuses.
Yeah, no, it's got to be between the two of them. Nas Reed, fantastic that he's able to give you the performance that he was 7 and 9 from three. Felt like he couldn't miss
I
from
wanted
deep.
him to
That
hit that last shot so
that would have
bad,
been
bro.
crazy.
Oh my god, I'd have got the Nas Reed tattoo.
But yeah, 23 from Nas Reed is as your leading scorer. Most nights is not going to cut it, and it was not able to cut it in this one. And so Minnesota goes to Dallas, and I believe they play tomorrow on Sunday. No 2-game, 2-day rest for them, even though the long trip from Minnesota to Texas. That puts them in a position where game 3 obviously is a must win. No team obviously has ever come back from an 0-3 deficit, so they're going to have a very, very tall task in front of them, in front of what's going to be a very, very rowdy Dallas crowd at the American Airlines Center. They have not been to the NBA Finals in, what's that, 13, 14 years since 2011, and sniffed it a couple years ago with Luka and this team. And to be in this position to really put the series away in game 3, they're going to be loud. They're going to be rowdy. So I'm expecting a very, very game Dallas Mavericks team in game 3. And like I said, hopeful that Chris Finch and Mike Honore understand that, look, you have to treat game 3 like it's game 7. I don't care what you might have been holding in your back pocket for later. You throw everything out there. You can't leave any stone unturned at this point. So I'm expecting to see a lot of different coverages thrown at Luka and Kyrie. Hopefully that they can try to figure out a way, for just the sake of extending the series, to try to maintain the lobs a little bit, because at times it really just is backbreaking, because you get to points where it feels like Luka looks like he's throwing up a super contested layup, and you realize halfway through, oh my gosh, it's a pass. And Gafford is dunking it, Lively's dunking it. So they got to try to figure out a way to stay in between that. And Rudy did a fantastic job of that in the Nugget series between Jokic and Gordon. So trying to get back to that a little bit would be helpful. But yeah, tall task in front of a very young Minnesota team that hasn't made it this far in a very long time. Nobody on this roster has ever made it this far. Has Mike Conley even, is this his first conference finals now I think about it?
No, he's been there before.
Okay.
With Memphis.
Okay, I couldn't remember if they had made it before, but not in a very long time has he been in conference finals either.
Exactly.
So they have a very, very tall task in front of them.
100%.
With that, though, like I said, I want to transition to what is the main talking point of this episode now that we've got all the series analysis out of the way. I want to talk about what would a ring do, not just for each of these organizations, but really for each of these stars that's left here in the conference finals. And let's just start with the team that we can get out of the way quickly. For the Indiana Pacers. What would a ring mean for the Pacers? What would a ring mean for Halliburton if by some miraculous turn of events they were able to beat the Celtics team and go on and beat the Mavericks or the Timberwolves?
We're really living the hypotheticals here.
We are.
If the Pacers were to win a ring, is this their first ring ever if they was to win a ring?
I believe so, yeah. Reggie Miller and them were never able to get over the hump. They lost one of their finals to the Lakers. They might have a ring in like the ABA or something, but I don't think they have an NBA ring.
If they were to win a ring, obviously, if it's the first ring ever with Indiana, it's huge. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like small market team, winning a ring, years ahead of schedule. That's for sure.
Yep.
It would be big. It would be big. I mean, obviously, in free agency, people would be a more attractive destination to go play. Obviously, if they're good enough to win a ring, from Halliburton's perspective, I mean, if he was to win a ring, that means he probably missed this game. They win somehow. He comes back in game 4, and then he's still playing well. They beat Boston. Then he beat whoever wins between the Mavs and the Timberwolves. Man, I mean, he would have to play amazing, because obviously he's not there. They wouldn't win a ring with him just being passive. That means he'd have to do that Halliburton give me 30 points and 10 assists type of Halliburton, where I'm aggressive. I'm coming off the screen. I'm shooting deep threes. Like I'm being aggressive, looking for my shot. If that's the case, he wins Finals MVP, and he has a case to be like, I'm the best point guard in the league. Like I done beat Boston. I done beat the Mavs or the Timberwolves, not by himself, but like kind of by himself a little bit. Because I mean, I granted respect to Siakam, but like Halliburton would have to have a fantastic rest of the series and finals. So he would have a case to be the best in the league. Definitely could have a case to be like, I'm the best young point guard in the NBA, because that would mean, especially if you beat like a Luka, then it's like, bro, what's the reason that he's better than me? This is just from a Halliburton perspective. He's the one that ends with the ring. So that'd be huge for him. That'd be huge for him, the future, his outlook, and the rest of his career. That'd definitely be big time for sure.
Look, I don't think it's not even remotely close to possible. But let's just say on the off chance it happened, the victory laps I would be running. Bro, I would post that clip of us from in the offseason talking about breakout player. I'm like, yo, Halliburton could really be a top 4 PG after this season.
That would be an elite call from you, bro. That would be insane.
The agenda pushing, like Tyrese Halliburton gonna have to thank me personally when it's all said and done, bro. I'm going to be I'm being insufferable. I'm be all over the place talking about it if they were able to pull it off. But yeah, like you said, same way that it kind of was for Denver last year, a team that's never won an NBA championship in a smaller-ish market. It would be huge for Indiana. We know what basketball means out there. That's one of the meccas, if you want to call it that, for basketball in general. For what has happened historically for that franchise, for all the times that, especially in Reggie Miller's day, that they were able to really scrap and claw in the Eastern Conference. In that one year, they were able to get over the hump in, I think it was 2000, ended up losing to Kobe and Shaq, and the Lakers that year have not sniffed the finals since then. To be able to potentially, like again, this hypothetical, they had to come out of a 2-0 series deficit to get to the finals and then beat the Wolves or the Mavericks. That would be a special run, and Halliburton would have to put up some special performances for that to happen. And yeah, he win a ring. I would put him in the top 4, maybe 3 point guards in the NBA. I don't care who else we're talking about.
He won a ring. Listen, man, he top. You could say he top 2.
Right.
Look, think about it. If he was to win, like we're speaking in this world, if he was to win a ring, if he was to beat the Mavs, if I'm him, why is Shea better than me? I beat the Mavs. He didn't.
Facts. There you go. Right.
So it's like, why is Shea better than me? So if he won a ring, me personally, I'm saying, why is Luka better than me? I beat him. But that's just me, though. I'm
right.
Saying. So,
at worst, you want to put Luka over him, fine. But then be like, that's old.
Fact. Well, he not even. If that's me, he not even in the convo no more. Like, he's a play. You couldn't even make it to the playoffs. I'm winning rings. Nah, it's over. I'm not hearing nothing from you. But yeah, like I said, this is like super like fairy tale land.
Right. I'm about to say, let's dial it back to earth right quick and get to the actual possibilities here. Starting with their opponent in the Eastern Conference Finals, with the Boston Celtics. What would a championship for Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown finally mean for both of their legacies?
Man, it would mean the absolute world for him, because look, the discourse around Tatum, I'll just speak for Tatum specifically right now, man. If Tatum wins this ring, it shuts a lot of the haters up, because of the way it would have to happen. I mean, honestly, technically, they really do have a good enough team to where, like, there could be a world where, like, he plays, like, good, obviously, like, 25 a game, and maybe Jaylen Brown just goes off and wins Finals MVP. So I guess there is a world where he doesn't have to light the world on fire to win the chip. But regardless, though, I think real basketball, like people who really know what they're talking about, would still, even if, say, Jaylen Brown was to win Finals MVP, you would still know that Jason Tatum is a better basketball player than Jaylen Brown. It would obviously be like what you just said with the whole, look, they're giving me their best defender. They're focused on stopping me. Jaylen Brown has an easier matchup. He just got it going. Let's just ride the hot hand type of thing. So reality, it still would be great for him as far as getting that monkey off his back of a lot of people saying that he cannot win a ring as the best player. Like there's a good amount of people who think like, look, he's not a number one on a championship level team. Like he's not.
That's so delusional, bro. But okay,
I'm telling you, it like
that's
I'm
insane.
this is listen, this is from like Twitter, like just whoever on Twitter to like on TV sports media people. Like, listen, I don't think Tatum is a number one on a championship level team. Like the whole thing is like, I don't think he has the mentality of a number one. He's too inconsistent, blah, 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 blah. So that would shut a lot of that up, which is honestly would be best case scenario for Tatum. So not have to deal with that anymore. Because personally, if they don't want to ring this year, I don't think that talk is ever gonna go away. Unless actually, goes on a crazy run and wins one. But it would shut a lot of that up, which would be great for him. It would justify, the Jaylen Brown contract. It would justify them keeping them two together because remember there was a point in time where a lot of people was like,
Gotta
trade
split
one.
them.
You got to split them up. They're never going to win together. So that would justify that. It would make sense for them. It would be a good look for them going all in, getting Kristaps and Drew Holiday and things like that. Joe Mazzulla would be a good look for him.
Yes, I was gonna mention that. That'd be a great look for him.
Yeah, because he's super young coach.
Because not to cut you off, but the conversations I do be hearing people sneaking in there. If Ime was the coach, this wouldn't be happening. Or Ime was here, still here. Maybe they wouldn't have been. We wouldn't be having these conversations about Tatum, this, that, whatever. Like,
I'm not mad at them combos, though. I ain't gonna lie.
I'm not hearing it,
bro. I'm not gonna lie.
The stats don't back it up. This offense, the fourth quarter offense was sketchy under Ime too. Don't fall to the victim. To the
Ime had them boys in line though. Ime had them boys locked. I'm just a fan of Ime and Udoka, man. Ime and Udoka was a really good coach, but I hear what they saying. No, I hear what they saying. Like, look, it's easy to. It's really because of the Mazzulla style of play. I feel like it wasn't as 3 or die with Ime Udoka. I think that's 100%. The biggest thing. But each coach has a different style. Regardless, though, you're not making it this far with a flat out terrible coach. I don't care what the team is like. So, but like I said, it would shut a lot of that up, and that would definitely give him at least job security for a while if they were to win a ring. So it would be great for him, especially being so young, to be able to get a ring this early would be great. And it could justify, just this style of basketball. Like, look, people hating on it, but it got us a ring. You know what I mean? So that'd be great for him. But I think the biggest thing, obviously, would just be getting the monkey off his back for Tatum. Like, look, I did it. Like, I can be a number one championship level team. I can get us this far. So I think that'd be good for him.
You hit the nail on the head. It would shut the narratives up for. Well, the Celtics are always a good team. They always make it to the conference final, but they can't never do it. They've been to JB and Jason Tatum's been to 5 conference finals already. This might be their 5th or 6th one, and they don't have a ring yet. Well, they have the show for it. And the Twitter discourse is nasty. The NBA media discourse is nasty. If they were able to win a championship this year, you got it the same way. I feel like the switch flipped with Giannis, where I think Giannis had really started to reach that point. I don't know if Giannis ever got as bad as it's gotten with the Celtics and with Tatum and JB respectively, but it's those conversations started to come up about like, can Giannis ever get over the hump? Is he gonna get over the hump? And then as soon as he did,
all I gotta do is build a wall.
We ain't heard nothing about that ever since. And so I think them being able to potentially win a championship this year would really silence all that. Second championship, if this were to happen for Drew Holiday. Another underrated thing, Al Horford finally would get a ring after being on so many good teams. His career just never able to get that job done. Kristaps would be a champion. Tingus Pingus.
Who the fuck is Tingus Pingus?
If he win a ring, I need that dude to make a follow-up to that video. Bro. But yeah, obviously him getting a championship would be huge for his career because a lot of people thought that the fit and he was good in New York. He dealt with the injury stuff, and then obviously goes to Washington, and that's like purgatory for an NBA career. But quietly, he kind of really reinvented himself a little bit in Washington. He started to find his identity a little bit more. I almost be forgetting sometimes he played in Dallas, which is crazy to think about.
He did play in Dallas. Oh,
they had that man was sitting in the corner.
I forgot he played in Dallas.
Spot up glass cleaner. Instead, go sit in that corner for Luka.
you just unlocked a memory for me,
Right.
bro.
Great, bro. People don't. I feel like that don't even get mentioned. We think about New York because he's the unicorn. He comes in. He doing all this great stuff. 7-3, and it's like, yeah, he was in Washington. And he went to Boston.
Right.
He was in Dallas,
I
bro. Like
forgot.
people do
I
not be
forgot he played for
remembering that,
Dallas.
bro. Yeah, so that'll be huge for his career for a guy who, it's not unfair to say, he's kind of bounced around a little bit. But obviously we know talent wise he get there, but was able to, hopefully, if he can get this calf situation, sorted out, come back healthy in time for the finals, and then if he's able to win, gets his ring. But again, like you said, more importantly than anything else, get the monkey off of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown's back. I think bigger than anything, I don't even care about the what people have said about Jason Tatum, whatever they don't think he could be the number one on a championship team. I think bigger than all of that would really be, like you mentioned, justifying keeping Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown together, because, bro, that discourse was loud for a long time. Every single year they didn't win a championship, it just got louder and louder. Like, these guys can't play together. They can't win together. You're never going to win a championship with the both of them on the roster. Like, people have been saying that for a long time. And there's little nuggets of trying to break them up every single year. Like I just mentioned, every year we see maybe Jaylen Brown is the alpha on the Celtics team because he has a 40-point game in the playoffs. All of that would have to quiet down if they were able to pull us off this year. And I think that would be the biggest takeaway. Obviously, from the fact that it's like, in theory, they're still young-ish to be able to get their first ring, and that could set them up for potential chance to go off and get, maybe they could rattle off another one next year, or just be in that constant contention to, get 2 or 3 throughout the course of their career, and then on top of that, bring the Celtics back to a place of relevance, because that 2008 championship be doing a lot of work for Boston. Because if they didn't have that one, we'd be looking at we would be looking at a 40-year championship drought in Boston. I don't think people be thinking about that a lot,
bro.
Since if Paul Pierce, KG, and Ray Allen didn't get it done that one year in 2008 with Doc Rivers and Rajon Rondo, this Boston Celtics would not have an NBA championship since Larry Bird and Kevin McHale were on the roster, since Converse was the leading shoe brand in the NBA. Cell phones weren't invented. The internet didn't exist.
It's crazy because, like, I don't even, like, as a Lakers fan, like, the whole Celtics-Lakers rivalry, like, it's not as, like, potent as it was before. But that's the one thing I hate about Boston, when Boston fans, we're Title Town. This is Title Town. Y'all had Bill Russell carry y'all in chips when it was like 6 teams in the league and playing in black and white, and dudes was 5'2". Like, get out of here, bro.
People can't even drink at the same water fountain, bro. What are we talking about?
It was segregation hoops. What are we talking about? So that junk pisses me off a little bit. Title down. Like, I got the one that's saving y'all. But even then, 2008 was a long time ago, bro. It was a long time ago. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, no, I agree with everything you said. 2 more things I do want to say, too. It will also add more validity, and hopefully, I don't know if it'll actually do it, because it's always like this. It's happening right now, Anthony Edwards. It will add more validity and give more reason to relax when a guy does not win a ring before the age of like 26, 27.
Thank you.
We hear it all the time, but it's like no one actually believes it. LeBron didn't win till like 27. Jordan didn't win till 26, 27. Like, that's the age that you win the rings, bro. That's when you put everything together. It's steps in the NBA. You come to the Tatum is a little bit different. He didn't just flat out come to a bad team. But for most people, you start with a bad team. All right, the team sucked. No one cares. Then, good stats, bad team guy. Then, okay, playoffs, the first round. Okay, Western Conference Finals. All right, championship. Maybe lose a finals. Right. Okay, you break through. That's how it works. But it's like Tatum, it's like, because they were so good so young, it's like, why don't you not have a chip yet? So it would add more validity to that aspect. But on the flip side, if we're really talking legacy and like personal legacy, the only thing that it wouldn't do for Tatum, I'd say, he still wouldn't be viewed as like a top 3 player, I don't think there's anything he could do. unless he
It's
doesn't win
not.
multiple to win to be in that conversation. So that's
But
the only downside.
even if he did, bro, I think the conversation just is, well, the Celtics are just a stacked team. He got
That's
JB
true.
with him. You know what I mean? I think you were right at first. I don't know if there's anything Jason Tatum could do to really be considered a top 3 player other than come out next year and start killing 35 a game. Like, he would have to go crazy just because we know we're getting from Jokic. We know we're getting from Luka. At this point, I think it's fair to say I know we're getting from Shea. I know we're getting from Giannis.
Embiid when he's healthy.
Right. Like, that's 5 guys right there I think are comfortably, I would say, better than Tatum. So yeah, he would have to get to another level in his game to even get into that conversation. But look, it's not needed. It's clearly not needed for them to get to what everybody is playing in the NBA for. So that's okay.
Yeah, it's true. But so yeah, that would be interesting, Chip, if they were to win it, man. Interesting conversations.
It definitely would be. I would love, bro. Twitter is gonna go crazy because it's a bunch of people that are Tatum fans or Celtics fans. That's gonna be on everybody's head, and people are gonna be trying. I know for a fact the backtracking is gonna happen, but but the Celtics are the stacked team. Who cares? They ain't play nobody on their way to the. Nah, shut it up. Shut it up.
JB carried.
Right. Pivoting to the West, let's start with the more likely of the two, just by statistics. Obviously, the Mavs being up 2-0, and not just being up 2-0, but being up 2-0 from both games on the road, are in a position where they are now got to be favored to win this series. Look, Santos in the chat. Do you see this on the screen when I click
Mickey
this?
Mouse run.
Yeah, there
you
go. Yeah, Mickey Mouse run. Appreciate you, Santos, bro. You always be pulling up to the lives, bro. Not a Mickey Mouse run, though, bro. What you want them to do? What else you want them to play? They can't play nobody else.
We talked about it. They probably they would have beat everybody with all them guys healthy. The only way it's like a legit, like, all right, come on, bro, is if like they make it to the finals and like Luka's injuries kept up to him and he's out or he ain't get hurt. Then I'm like, yeah, I got blessed. Even then, you can't take it from the record books. Right. Yeah, I got blessed, bro. Yeah. Oh my God.
But yeah, with the Mavericks being in the position that they're in, let's say that they go on, they close out this series in the Western Conference Finals, go on to beat most likely the Celtics out east, and Luka gets to hoist the Larry O'Brien Trophy. What does that mean for Luka's career? 6 years, 5 first-team All-NBAs. He'd have a ring, very possibly a Finals MVP on top of that. What does that mean for Luka Doncic's legacy?
Man, that would be an insane start to a career. You telling me you got 5 first-team All-NBAs. He has more than Steph. He has more than plenty of people. He's on track to have more than a lot of great.
He good for about 5 more.
Like, at least he's getting it every single year. There's no world where he doesn't get it unless he's injured.
Right.
So yeah, the accolades will be there. Eventually, you know he's gonna win the MVP, at least one. So that's gonna be there. Probably if they win a chip, he's probably the leading candidate to win MVP going into next year. Because I think Jokic is gonna have voter fatigue, so he's not. I don't think Jokic can average 100. He's not gonna win MVP just off of just the way the media is. But he's gonna win an MVP eventually. He's gonna have the stats of like. His stats are going to be insane. Like his averages, his points, assists, everything is going to be insane from that aspect of everything. He has the moments that he has, though, the insane games. He has a 70-point game. He has a what was the game we had a triple double? Does he have like a 60-point triple double or something like that? Like the moments are going to be insane. And to win a ring on top of all that, being so young, it would put him on track to like really crack that. Like, it's hard to say now. It's hard to say.
Santos said top 20 at least
With a ring right now. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Like
I'd say so.
Those combos are 100% fair at that point.
I'd say so, yeah. But if we're just talking about on what the trajectory, that like I think he would be a top 20 player. But where he's headed. Bro, he could scratch top 10. Well, I'm talking obviously projecting, right? But still, like you're on track to be in that conversation at the bare minimum, just because your start of your career was so great. So from that aspect, a ring would do so much for his legacy just from that standpoint.
Look, I think it might have been Gilbert on his podcast said that right now Luka could retire. He's gonna be a first ballot Hall of Famer, and that is facts. And we're talking adding a ring and a Finals MVP to that. And let me just double check. Luka is only 26, right?
Bro, that's why I said the
25. He just turned 25 this year.
That's why I said the trajectory. That's the biggest thing. Because if you're winning it now, we literally just said normally you break out and you win a ring at what, 27, some people 28. Yep. You win it at 25 with all your other accolades, with all your stats, like easily first ballot Hall of Famer, but you're going to be on pace to be in that conversation of that top 10, like scratching that top 10. But the ceiling, through the roof, absolutely through the roof.
I'll take it a different, and this is, coming from me, this means a lot. I'll take it a whole different way.
No, you about to say what I think you about to say.
He won a ring this year.
Not with the jersey in the back.
Yeah, he on path to being the best Maverick of all time.
Coming from you, that's real. That's real.
Right.
With the jersey in the
wrong finger. Y'all see the Dirk jersey right here. Y'all see the Dirk jersey right there. He would cement himself. I think genuinely it's fair to say from a talent perspective, he got Dirk beat. He got Dirk beat.
Dirk got that run saved him. That run was crazy.
That run is elite. And it's crazy because when you think about it in the full context of it, like I think Dirk's even talked about it, that when him going in 06 and losing to D Wade and Shaq on Miami that year, he doesn't think he wins 2011 if that doesn't happen. And so it's like Luka's already got. Then we made it to the Western Conference Finals. We lost to Steph and them. Like they've been there. They had the defeat. He's using that to you see it now, bro. Luka broke up an alley-oop in game 1. At my jaw dropped. I said, "Oh my gosh, that's a crazy, bro." If Derrick Jones Jr. did that, I'd be like, bro, he's locked in. Luka at the rim like this,
bro. Did you see the possession?
It, bro.
Did you see the possession? I think it was on Mike Conley. And it doesn't get talked about just because it was just like a random possession, but it caught my eye so much that I was like, yo, he was sliding his feet, bro. Like he was moving, step back. No, I'm here. Like he was really sliding his feet. I'm like, is that Luka?
Bro, you can really tell just in the little things that he's done this entire playoff run, but even in just this series particularly, you mentioned it earlier, bro is playing messed up knee, messed up shoulder, getting hit in the face. He's laboring every time play stops. But as soon as it whistle blows, he's 100% full go. You can tell he really, really wants to be able to say that he's an NBA champion. And I think we also got to touch on the fact that if the Mavericks win this year, that would be the second ring for Kyrie. I think what that really does for him is the little portion of NBA Twitter that still be like, "Oh, Kyrie only got a ring because of LeBron." Obviously, that has to shut up too, because even as a LeBron fan, somebody that genuinely thinks LeBron is the best basketball player ever, LeBron does not win that ring without Kyrie. Like Kyrie was so, bro. Have y'all not seen the graphic? 41 points. They both had to snap to win that game and win that series. Like. And for Kyrie also to be another guy who I can see, like you just mentioned with Luka, locked in defensively, sliding his feet, active hands, communicating. You can even see him just being that leadership presence on the bench for them, even on the court. During timeouts, he's dapping guys up, high fives, encouraging guys. He's in people's ear. Like he's the only guy on this roster, if I'm not mistaken, that is a champion. And especially has been a champion at that level to be like one of the guys on a championship team. So for him to potentially go out, get a second ring without LeBron, I think does a lot for his legacy for the guys who really care that much about had to be with LeBron, got carried by LeBron. I think that does a ton for him there. I think it also definitely solidifies Jason Kidd's spot as a coach because he's been super, super shaky. And I think rightfully so. But defensively, he's put on a phenomenal coaching clinic throughout this entire playoffs. He has this entire team playing defense on another level. So I think that would do a ton for him. Santos just said another thing I want to get your thoughts on. If Luka wins a ring this year, he's gonna pass KD. I don't know if I go that far. KD, 2 Finals MVP. KD.
Santos said it, not me. I didn't say nothing. I didn't even speak yet.
I'm asking you your thoughts.
I didn't even speak yet. I ain't say nothing. But nah, I mean, what was the question?
you see it on the screen.
Nah, I mean, I don't know if he wins a ring. Nah, I can't go that far yet. I can't. Just because, granted, like we talked about, listen, the ring is a ring, blah blah blah. Right. But everyone knows those 2 rings that KD got don't hold the same weight.
It's really the age gap, right? Like, projection wise,
yeah, for sure. Like, he doesn't pass him now,
right? But you see the path is there. But like, you can't be like, bro. Right now, today, you could really make the argument Kevin Durant is one of the, like, actually, you can make the argument he's the best scorer we've ever seen. You know what I mean? So it's like KD got stuff that Luka just isn't. He don't even got access to right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he's only 25, so it's hard to make that type of jump right now.
Is it like?
I've been wondering for the longest who Santos was a fan of. Now it makes sense. They say Warriors fans, the rings mean nothing.
That's the thing, because like the ring, like strictly ring wise, like give me the Luka's ring over. Yeah, there's a lot of players whose 1 ring holds more weight than KD's 2 rings, 100%. Which is tough for KD. It's just tough for him. But it's like KD still has an MVP. Like, it's like I said, he has access to stuff that Luka doesn't. I mean, MVP Luka, like I said, he could have had one by now, but obviously we're
arguably should have, yeah.
Exactly. So I just think right now it's a little bit tough. But he's definitely in that combo. Then as he gets in, obviously he's gonna win MVP, more accolades, more over time. He's definitely gonna surpass him, I think. But he'll 100% be on pace to surpass him for sure. So yeah, it's just like I said, he's gonna be in some interesting conversations. But it's funny, man, because obviously, look, we talked about it the past couple of years, right? I feel like we've done this before. That not just us, though. I'm just saying in general, media, right? Because Giannis wins a ring, then Giannis has 2 MVPs, a DPOY ring. He's young. We're like, Giannis is on track to scratch the top 10. Could be this, could be that. Yep. Then it's like, oh, Jokic's won a ring. He got what? 2 at the time, 2 MVPs. He's what? You got 1 ring. Like, he's on track to now. If Luka wins a ring, I feel like we're doing the same thing over again, which is good for just overall basketball discourse and parity. But it's just funny how like we got like legitimately 3 guys to where each ring would just mean so much in that aspect. That just bro, there's this conversation of who, bro. If Luka wins a ring, he could say he's the best player in the world. You know what I mean? When Giannis won his ring, he was the best player in the world. When Jokic won his ring, he was the best player in the world. Luka wins his ring, he could say I'm the best player in the world. It's just a lot of parity. You know what I mean? I guess that's kind of the main thing I was getting at. It's just a lot of parity in the NBA, especially at that tippity top right now.
I love it. I love the parity in the NBA. The last thing I do want to say about the Mavericks, they won a ring. Hey, man, Dante Exum was a top 5 pick, had to lead the NBA, go play in Australia, came back, and he still continually gets quality minutes here for his Mavericks team, really reinvented himself as a player. So I'll be a shout out to him as well.
Grant Williams is going to be pissed.
100%. 100%.
He's going to be mad. Bro, they traded you because you literally quote yap too much, bro, and they traded you, bro, and they went on to win a ring because of it, bro. If you just stopped talking, you could have had a ring.
If Luka makes it to the finals, he'll have a Western Conference MVP.
I forgot I forgot that was even a thing.
Hey,
that's funny. He's not wrong.
Santos ain't lying though, bro.
He's not wrong.
They wasn't giving them out back then, bro. They don't got none. Ain't no Western Conference Finals MVPs and KD trophy case, bro.
I forgot that was the thing, bro. I forgot they even did that.
Yeah. I do want to. Let's get to the last team, which I personally think would be the craziest legacy talk. Like the discourse that would come
Man, let's get to it,
from
man.
the Minnesota Timberwolves coming back from down 0-2, losing both of those games in Minnesota, going to the finals to play what is almost certainly going to be the Boston Celtics. If they beat Boston in the championship, oh my gosh, the stuff that people are going to say about Anthony Edwards, bro. The stuff that people are going to say about Anthony Edwards, they're going to be people are going to try to start throwing him in like top 30 all-time discussions for real at 22.
Side note, the Grant Santos and Grant was watching the Mavericks and the
I
Celtics.
see.
I forgot about the
Bro,
Celtics.
and
That's
worse,
funny.
worse than that, he got to do that and realize that he playing for the Hornets.
He has no opportunity to ever contribute ever again, bro.
This is a
That's
wild side note. Please tell me you've seen that LaMelo news, bro. Where a young I hope this I hope I'm not getting ball sack
Yeah.
sports and it was fake, but I seen a report that said that as a young man went to go ask for an autograph from LaMelo. LaMelo said no, drove off in his car, and ran over Lil Bro's foot.
I don't know how true it is. I mean, I seen the picture. I don't know if it's true, so I don't want to run with it. But if that's true, that's funny.
Now I
That's
gotta look it up. I have to. I'm gonna do my journalistic duty right quick.
That's hilarious. If that's true, that's hilarious. Oh my god, Melo is a clown, and that's like super like messed up.
Los Angeles Times. LaMelo Ball broke foot of boy seeking autograph when he drove.
Bro, what?
Where are the vets? Where are the vets, bro?
Grant Williams. He about to lead him to the chip next year, bro. Grant, that's what he's there for, bro. The veteran leadership. But nah, it's that's crazy, man. That's crazy. But I guess to get back on topic, nah, the discourse surrounding Anthony Edwards, if he were to be 20, was he 22? Winning a championship would be insane, mainly because I mean, obviously he would have to play better than he's playing right now, in order to get past the Mavs. So he would have to play up to his standards. He already in the beginning of this postseason was having a fantastic postseason. You know what I mean? He has insane moments when it was sweeping the Suns. Obviously didn't do him by himself with beating the Denver Nuggets, the defending champions. Like his path would be insane if you really think about it, right? You go from the Suns, the quote unquote super team. That's what it was supposed to be, a super team in the beginning of the year. You got Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Bradley Beal. You sweep them. All right, cool. You go to the defending champions with the defending champions with the best player in the world in Nikola Jokic. You beat them in 7. You have a great series. Then you would come back from down 0-2 at home against Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving, and a really good Mavs team. Then you would go to the finals and play a 60-win Boston Celtics team who was supposed to be this big juggernaut and the favorites all year. That's an insane run. And for them to do that, obviously, he would have to play great. They can win singular games with him playing bad and their role players stepping up and their defense stepping up. But for them to win these type of series, he's going to have to play great. So that means if they were to win a championship, he would have done that. He's probably going to be Finals MVP unless Nas Reed keeps being the greatest role player of all time. But realistically, he would probably be Finals MVP. Listen, his game would speak for itself as far as like him doing on offensive end. He has defensive moments and is an elite defender. He would probably submit himself as I'm the best two-way player in the entire NBA. To be 22 already with a championship, like the path or trajectory would be insane for him to be so young and winning a chip, because that does not happen. We said it, this is like the third time we're saying it now. You 26, 27, 28. That's when you break out. That's when you really, that's the time you start winning championships. So for you to do it at 22 years old, like quote unquote 5 years before you're actually supposed to do it,
before you're really tapping your prime.
I'm about to say, if he was he's not even close. He's not even the best he's ever going to be.
Right. There are still like visible flaws in his game. Like you can watch him at times struggle to make the fastest read off a pick and roll, or when guys are blitzing him. Like that comes with just reps. Like he doesn't have the reps in. If he's doing this without those reps, what's he going to look like when he is 25, 26? And now he's logged all these years into the league. He's seen every defensive coverage there is to throw at him. He knows how to counter every single one.
He's won a finals. He's made it there. He has the experience. He knows when to be aggressive, when not to be aggressive. And he know like his the mental side of it is improving. Like
right.
He would be on pace. It's an insane start to a career.
I think it would genuinely be the second best early career achievement ever. The only one I could think that is better, and I actually just looked it up, of the youngest people to ever win a championship, he'd be up there. So I can see that the 10th oldest person is a guy. His name was Johnny Davis, played for the Blazers in the 70s. He was a rookie in the year where Bill Walton won the championship. He didn't do a ton. He averaged just 8 points in the 79 appearances. He averaged 10 points in that playoffs. So he obviously wasn't the guy. You know, Bill Walton was the guy on that team. But Magic Johnson was almost 21. He said he was 20 years old, 276 days.
But even then, they had Kareem, though.
Right. But he at least was a super contributor. Like he started a game at center in that series, 100%. Which is crazy. So I think outside of that, it would at least have to be like the second best. I'm talking super young player achievement in terms of winning the NBA Finals if Anthony Edwards was able to pull it off. If you want to have that debate between him or Magic, that's game, because as whatever, Anthony Edwards was the guy, but at the same time, bro, Magic literally said, I just play center this game, and they won the game. Like, what? That's crazy.
No, that's for sure. It's insane. But like I said, it's just the fact that it's up there for sure. Because even I looked up, like, D Wade was 24 when he won his, so he's even 2 years younger than him.
Crazy.
It was bro. And we literally, I literally just talked about how Giannis won his ring, MVPs on trajectory to be like, this is supposed to be his league. Jokic did it. He was the best player in the world. Like, you're doing this in an era and a time where you got elite guys who have MVPs and defensive player of the years and all these accolades, and they're supposed to be the best player in the world. And it's like, bro, you're years younger than these guys and you have the same amount of rings. You literally beat one of them to get your ring. Like, he would just be on trajectory to be an insane like class. And the discourse around like where he would just be, I guess all time is a little bit tough because he's even younger than Luka, to where it's like he has nothing yet, just off the strength of like accolades wise. Well, he made an All NBA team, he has some All Stars, but like, we just talking about Luka. He made 5 All NBA teams in a row, first team All NBAs. And is so young that it's like he hasn't even scratched the surface of his accolades. So it's like it's so hard to project where he'd be at from that aspect, or where he'd be placed now if he wasn't winning a ring. I think that, honestly, to try to even figure out where he ranks among people, he's so young that to me it doesn't even make sense to try to do it.
Right.
More so like in the NBA right now, I mean, he'd be better than Tatum. He can, because that means he had to beat Tatum and probably outplayed him. So he'd be better than Tatum. So he's at least Tatum. Worse, Tatum's a what? Top? I don't know. I'm just saying number 7, 8 guy. I don't know. I'm just saying stuff. He's at least in that conversation. If I'm him, why is Joel better than me? If I'm him, why is Jay better than me?
Even if he don't win this year, I think he got the conversation to be like, why is there a shooting guard better in the NBA than me right now?
Oh, for sure. Devin Booker's not better than me. If I'm him, Devin Booker's not better than me. I just beat him. He's not better than me. I know Shay's a point guard. Shay's not better than me. What are we talking about? Like, if I'm just saying, if I'm him, again, this is me being cocky. If I'm him, why is Luka better than me if I just beat him? Granted, I think he is better than him, but I'm just saying, if I'm him, like, these are that's just the discourse that would be surrounding him if he were to win this chip. Which would be insane. Like I said, insane from a 22-year-old.
I do got to say too, if the Mavericks are, or not Mavericks, if the Timberwolves are able to pull it off, I think it would also do great things for Cat, for him to be a guy who, has so much criticism throughout his early years of his career, been in Minnesota the whole time. Sometimes seen as a losing player. People have a lot of issues with him at times, not always sure if he's fully locked into basketball when he was younger. for this. Honestly, no matter how this playoff run turns out for Minnesota, I've just been so impressed with Cat's level of maturity to really just seamlessly take the back seat, let Anthony Edwards be the guy on this team, understand that's the best thing for this team. Then they go in, they trade for a guy that plays your position. You have to go play the forwards you've never done in your career, even when you were at Kentucky. Obviously, it's not great that first year, but you come in this year with just a renewed determination to go out on the perimeter, to give 100% effort, to really transform your game on that side of the ball and be a positive defender on the wing, guarding guys that are faster than you, skinnier than you, while still being a guy who can bang with Jokic. Like there's really not very many players in the league who can say they can check both of those boxes. You can feel comfortable putting Cat on KD, but you also feel comfortable putting Cat on Jokic. And he did both of that in the same playoff run. Like that, he needs to get his flowers regardless of how this run turns out. And if they are able to go on and win this series and win a championship, that would be huge, huge for his career and just validation, all the work that he's put in. And then lastly, the guy that you can't stand, Rudy Gobert, man. 4-time DPOY with a ring. With a ring.
The discourse around Rudy, man.
It's going to be nasty, but hey, the haters going to have to shut up. The ring don't lie. A championship don't lie. All them advanced stats, you can't throw them out the window. Who cares? Rudy Gobert would be an NBA champion.
In leading the best defensive team in the league, they would have won it off their defense. Rudy,
right?
Yo, bro, the discourse around Rudy,
he would have been on the best defensive team in the NBA. Then went out and beat the supposed to the media this unstoppable offensive big three. KD, D Book, Bradley Beal swept them. Then went to the defending champs, beat them. Then went from down 0-2 against the Mavericks, beat them and Luka, and then went to the best record in the NBA, Boston Celtics, and would have to beat them.
I don't even want that, like, bro. That's the girl. That's the grossest thing.
Stamped. All three of them. Ant, Cat, Gobert. Stamped.
I mean, unfortunately, Rudy is technically already a Hall of Famer. If we're 100%. Just going off of like accolades and stuff, he already 100%. Is. So, unfortunately, he already is a Hall of Famer from that aspect. But man, all right. This is the thing that I won't like, right? And it's funny because like I feel bad saying this because if you're just like if you're Rudy, it's like why do I have the accolades I have for a reason. But like years from now, looking back at it, and people that's like didn't watch it are just gonna look at Basketball Reference and be like, that guy right there, why is he not the best defender ever? Why is he not in that conversation? Why is he not? He won a chip, led the best defense in the world, was DPOY. Wait, what? He beat another center who was the best player in the world, the defending chip? Bro, this guy was elite. What are we talking about here? That's what's gonna piss me off. Looking back,
it's gonna be somebody from our generation gonna post that clip of him getting cooked by Luka. This is why, right here.
Nah, man, but it's just that's the biggest thing when people are not gonna watch it and just look at his accolades and stats and be like, bro, this guy was a top 3 defender ever, bro. That's what he won 4 DPOYs. Mm-hmm. Who else did? There's only a select few that did that, and he won a chip. So that's gonna be the man. Oh my God, that's gonna be a very, very uncomfortable conversation if Rudy Gobert is to be an NBA champion, man.
It's like, literally that's why I wanted to have this conversation today. No matter how you slice it and dice it, somebody's getting their first ring. One of these stars is getting their first NBA championship. But B, the discourse that you know is gonna come from it is going to be like, chef's kiss. First take is gonna be must-watch TV. I want to see Perk and Stephen A's breakdown, whatever. And I know I'm gonna disagree with whatever they talking about, but I'm gonna watch. Watch it.
Man, if Rudy win a ring, bro, what Draymond gonna say?
He getting cooked.
Shout out to Anthony Edwards, man, for winning a ring in spite of Rudy Gobert. Like that man couldn't get a stop on Luka. Didn't matter. Like, bro, the discourse gonna be crazy because he's still not gonna get his credit for sure.
No, he's
I
never
said
gonna get his
I
credit.
did the listen. I did the
He got 4 DPOYs and he still don't get credit. He's
he
never
don't
get his credit, bro.
listen. I did the most I've ever done for Rudy Gobert in my life, defending him today for the outlandish stuff that people said. That's all you gonna get from me, bro. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie. That's all you gonna get from me. I don't got too many nice things to say about Rudy Gobert, but
Hey,
not a
and look, it don't get brought up enough, but quietly also, Rudy Gobert the one that shut the league down during COVID.
That's why he's so, bro. He's unlikable. I'm telling you, bro. He just does so much
That
stuff,
man in the press conference talking about my fault.
touching everything in there, and really got COVID and shut the league down. Like, bro, oh my god, Rudy. Remember, he was like, I could shut down Shaq. Like bro, Rudy just do so much stuff that it's just rubs people the wrong way, man. That's why I can't do too much defending you, bro. Or like it's gonna throw off the balance in the world, but I can't do that. I gotta be on the Rudy Gobert hate side at least a little bit. But nah, the discourse is gonna be crazy. My man's Nas Reed is gonna be the greatest 6-man ever. He's gonna be the GOAT.
Who's
Should have been
Jamal Crawford if Nas
shit.
Reed get this one?
Should have been a Laker, but that's a conversation for another day. Mike Conley, you know what I'm saying? He
Yeah, that
gonna
would be
get a ring.
huge.
That'd be good for him. That'd be really good for him.
I do.
Other than that,
Mike Nori too. Mike Nori being a guy not even supposed to be doing the head coaching duties to step in. If they were able to get a ring,
locked head coaching job somewhere.
100%.
Locked. He might have it already, but like locked in head coach somewhere. So yeah, it'll be good for them. The dude that built the Nuggets and the Timberwolves was the GM
Tim
that put the
Connolly,
team together. Man, go fix the Pistons or something, bro.
Right. I want to see him just start taking challenges. Like,
for real. Like
go to Charlotte and get them a ring.
building 2 champions is not easy. Building a champion to beat the champion you built is insane to me.
Right.
Like
and then Jokic was really on the podium talking about, yeah, they're a team that was built to beat us. Because he knows, bro. He knows Tim personally. Tim drafted him. Like, that's really crazy.
I've seen who said this? It was on TNT. Somebody said, I think Chuck said this. Do you agree that like he was like NBA is just straight matchups? Because it's funny how the NBA is strictly full of matchups. Because I think the Nuggets would beat the Mavericks, like not easily, but like just off of matchup wise. I don't think they had anyone that could stop Jokic. Like the Timberwolves were specifically designed to beat the Nuggets, so that it's like he's like, I think the Nuggets would have beat the Mavs, but the Mavs would beat the Timberwolves, but the Timberwolves beat like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just who matches up. So the Mavs are fortunate that the Timberwolves beat the Nuggets because they can beat them. So I think that's an interesting conversation.
I think that's 100% fair take because if the Nuggets would have beat that series, I would pick the Nuggets over the Mavericks. For the main reason that, like Chuck said, who's stopping Jokic on the team? I don't like Gafford. I don't like Lively in that matchup. I don't like any big in that matchup. But more than anything, it's like you've got 2 guys on top of the fact that Maxi Kleber is hurt. You're losing another 7-footer in that equation.
That's true.
Like you're giving up a lot of size there. And you're going to put these guys in the islands. Like I don't love that for either of them.
The difference is too, the Minnesota bigs can play at the same time versus like Lively and Gafford.
You have to stagger those minutes. Yep.
So
no, I think Chuck is spot on. Like it makes a lot of sense because on the flip side too, like now you get into a series with if it was Dallas and Denver, you know, you're gonna struggle to have to deal with Jokic, you're gonna struggle to have to deal with Jamal Murray, who might hopefully maybe be healthier in that series, MPJ, who's like it's tough. I get what he's saying though. Like matchup wise, I really do think that the Mavs do match up a ton better. Nobody wants to see the Nuggets because nobody has great answers for the Nuggets outside of Minnesota. Like you could really make that argument for anybody. So no matter who was coming out of that other series, it could have been OKC. I think we'd be having the same type of conversation. Like OKC matches up way better against Minnesota than they do against Denver. Like the Timberwolves really did everybody a solid by knocking out Denver, including whoever come out of the East too, bro. Because the Celtics wouldn't have won the scene Denver either.
Now I'm wishing my Lakers didn't see Denver, man. I wish Minnesota found a way to, but then we wouldn't have made it. I don't know. It's just never mind. That's my fandom talking. We wouldn't have done nothing. We wouldn't have done nothing, man. Even though we win game 2, we win the series, man. That's all I gotta say. We kept that 20-point lead. We win game 2, we win the series, man. I'm muting my mic on that note.
Yeah. Santos said, as long as the Celtics don't win the finals, he'll be happy. Hey, look.
You better root for Luka or Anthony Edwards, man. That's what I gotta say.
I already said I'm taking whoever come out of the West to win.
Me too.
I picked Wolves in 6. I'm not the guy to switch up on predictions. I'd rather just be wrong. So I still would take the Wolves in this series. I still take the Wolves to beat the Celtics if they're able to pull out of this 0-2 hole that they're in. So Celtics they're not the favorite in my book.
Can't switch the pick now because that'd be crazy to switch. No, actually, no. All right, we'll switch to the Mavs, and then the Wolves win. It's like you were wrong twice.
People be doing it.
Oh, I know.
People be doing it,
bro. If you make a pick before the series, just like stick with it, bro. If it's wrong, like I don't care. Like,
right?
What's the problem with being wrong?
I make predictions to hopefully be right, but most of the time you're just gonna be wrong, bro. It's just how it works.
Literally. So, is what it is, man. I honestly, bro, I truly don't be caring about any of my predictions I make. I want to see good games. Like I don't care 100%. Nothing about it. Like if the Celtics win, to me, like if we go to the finals and I pick Mavs in 7 and the Celtics win, I don't care. Like if unless you don't like the team, that's the only time I don't like because I pick against the Clippers all the time. And I be hating when they win, I be so mad. I swear to God.
With that though, I want to get into the little shorts period to wrap up the episode. I think I sent you this a while ago, and I finally want to do it on the pod really quick. We want to do NBA A to Z. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna name NBA players, obviously starting with the letter A, and then letter B, C, so on and so forth until we get to Z. And I want to see if obviously we're able to do it without any hiccups because I've seen people do it, but I've seen it take them like 3 minutes. I need to see if we can just bong, 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 bong all the way A to Z. So I'm going to let you start with A, but this is NBA A to Z player edition. Here you go. Start with A.
Oh, time out. I'm a little slow. I need to pull up the alphabet just so I can have it. I know the alphabet. Let's not get it twisted. But like doing it in this order, I'm gonna have to think like, oh, A, B, D. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I got you. Okay.
So like, don't chill on me. Let me just pull it up so that I can just look. Oh, we on F. Boom. You know what I'm saying? Hold on.
Now you got me scared. Maybe I need to pull up the alphabet.
You see what I mean? You see what I mean, though? Like, I don't want to just be like, oh, what letter we on? Why? You know what I'm saying? I don't want to mess it up like that. So
okay. I'm here.
But all right, bet. Cool. Bet. I'm ready. You ready?
I already got my first name loaded, bro.
All right, bet. Alfred Camino.
Brian Scalabrine.
Carmelo Anthony.
Delonte West.
Eddie Jones.
Oh my gosh. Yo, who name start with F, bro?
Yo, I'm dead.
Bro, I'm blanking crazy.
It's first names too, right?
Yeah, bro. Only thing I can think of is Freddie. I don't know why, bro. Oh my gosh. Compazzo. What's his name? Facundo? Whatever it is.
Something like that. I don't know. I don't talk about. You could say Franz Wagner.
Franz Wagner.
That was a good one. Okay. That was a good one. Gilbert Arenas.
Okay. Hito Turkoglu. Oh, I is crazy.
Fuck. Okay, damn.
Ooh.
Oh my God.
Got an I name off the top
bro, I don't. Bro, what's the I name?
Oh, I got one. Amon Shumpert.
That's a great pull. Amon Shumpert. That's a great pull.
Back to me. I'll give you Jermaine O'Neal.
Okay. That's a C. Damn. Kevin Durant. I don't know why that took too long. That took way too long.
Larry Bird.
Manu Ginobili.
Norris Cole.
Fuck.
We miss Isaiah Thomas.
Damn. Man, what are we doing? Okay. Bad. I'm on. Oh.
Yeah.
Fuck. Bro, I'm blanking.
Oh,
I'm blanking. Fuck.
I'm thinking like old names is in life. Oliver,
In general, right? I'm just
Bowen.
thinking,
It's the dude that got drafted by Olivier Maxwell, right? What's his name? Omax.
who the hell is that?
Bro, is he a Laker? Am I not tripping? Olivier Maxwell, Prosper.
Olivier. I'm thinking of Oliver something.
Olivier Maxwell. Oh, he's a Maverick.
Sure.
Oh wait, maybe I'm tripping. Who he get drafted to?
Otto Porter.
There
we go.
OG Anunoby also works.
Santos, you should have been in this, Santos, bro. We slept, bro. We're
We
folding.
need to pull him up on the stage, bro.
We're folding.
All right, I gotta go with Pablo Prigioni.
That's a good pull. Quentin Grimes.
Rashawn Holmes.
Yo, bro, why did I almost say Samaje Perine? I'm thinking football. Sam Cassell.
Tyrus Thomas.
You. Damn.
It's an easy you one. It's an easy
For real?
one.
Am I bugging? Why I can't even think of names.
Know he recently retired.
Udonis Haslam.
Yeah.
There we go.
Vlade Divac.
Bro, I keep thinking of football, bro. It's messing me up. Will William. No. Bro, I'm literally even thinking of football. It's literally messing me up so much right now. I'm blanking. The only name is yours. The only thing I can think of is William.
Bro, but I'm thinking of an NBA Will the Thrill
Barton. Will Barton.
X Xavier Tillman.
Why? No, that's not. Is it Yusuf Nurk? Am I bugging?
He's up with a J.
J? Oh, that's what it is.
Why? That's actually tough. Why? Oh, Santos is doing in the chat, dude. Yao Ming.
My guy, Yao Ming. There we go.
And then
are we just dumb?
Maybe. I think when the pressure is on, it's really my brain is shutting off.
I'm telling you, bro, because literally I'm thinking like Will Barton. What are we talking about?
There's only one answer for Z. It's the man himself, Zaza Pachulia.
Is that Judas
Ilgauskas?
That's another one too.
Yeah.
That's the one I get in my mind. That was like, bro, the moment is harder than it looks.
I take back what I said.
Bro, but you see why I had to pull it up so I can see. All right, what letter are we on? Because I swear to you, it would have been. I'd have looked stupid.
Zion too. Zion
actually, yeah, there we go. That's a good one.
Yeah, Yao Ming just clutched us because I was thinking with you. I was like, why? All I could think in my head was like young. Like,
for real,
nobody's name is that. Bro.
It's because it's also because the first name, like it being a first name. Because I'm thinking like Nick Young, but it's like it's not the right one. That was fun though.
I'm looking up if there's any other like notable NBA players whose names like first names start with Y.
The one I'm mad about is the Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah, Amon Shumpert being the first guy is crazy.
OG Anunoby is a really good one.
OG Anunoby is a good one.
Who did we even? Oh no, we said Yao Ming. Santos say Yao Ming.
Yao Ming, Yi John Lien. You remember him? He was in my team. Asian dude played for the Rockets.
That name was never going to come up out of my mouth. That was not happening.
Those actually, I think, are the only two NBA players who have ever played with the first name that starts with Y. So Yao Ming actually was the clutchest goal. There wasn't many other options.
Good look, Santos. We was not getting that. That's for sure. That was not happening.
Celtics Pacers without Halliburton tips off in 15 minutes. You have a final score prediction. How much are the Celtics winning by?
25.
25. I'd go smooth 40.
They could. They good. Nah, it's really not. They should, bro. They should blow them out, bro. They
Yeah.
won by like 20 last game or something like that. Like they should blow them out for real. I said 25 because it's either going to be they're up by 40 and then garbage
sub
time.
people out. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's possible.
it's gonna be
That's
like that.
possible.
Or it's gonna be like they're playing with their food. All right, let's win now, and then they only go up 25. So that's why I said 25.
With that, though, we're going to get up out of here. Everybody that tuned into the stream, if you're still in here, definitely drop a like before we wrap it up. Helps us out a ton. Be sure you're subscribed to the channel. Follow us on the socials that you see there at the bottom of the screen, at Off the Glass Pod on Instagram, at Off the Glass Podcast on TikTok. We appreciate the support as always. Santos, bro, we appreciate you for clutching us up in A to Z because
clutch is
brain fart after brain fart here. And appreciate you always showing love on the stream.
I feel stupider.
Right. As always, I'm Billy. That's Dame, and we out. Peace.
Yes, sir.